What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're out here at the home pond and we have two fishing reels with us. One expensive, one being cheap, and we're gonna put them head to head. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by Catchco. Today we have some baits from Catchco that we're gonna be throwing around on these reels and comparing the two. And we're gonna throw the same exact lure to make it fair. And honestly, it's kind of not fair because one reel is $700 and the other is $30, but that's kind of the point. It is, I feel like fishing reels have that weird thing where there's expensive and cheap, but I mean, I think the main thing is functional. If it works and you can catch fish, it's a fishing reel. So today we have an expensive and a cheap because I think it's fun to kind of compare and see, you know, what you can get with your money's worth and what you get out of these reels. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But let's go ahead and let's jump into the first two reels. Let's jump into the expensive one right off the bat. All right, before we jump into the fishing reels, I have our two baits right here. These are both the Biospawn Rattlebot. These things are actually so cool. They look really unique, and we have two of them, one in a little bit darker red and one in a lighter red. It might, oh my gosh, I almost hooked myself. It might make a difference, but I feel like it's not. They're both red, they're both the same. They both are the crawfish imitation. I mean, it's basically the same exact lure. This one's just got a little bit of yellow and this one's just neon red. But these are what we're gonna be throwing today, along with maybe a few other crankbaits if these don't work. But if you guys are looking to pick up some really cool crankbaits, there's a link in the description. You guys can go check out the Biospawn Catchco Rattlebots. These things are so sick, and hopefully they're gonna catch us some fish today. But let's go grab the first reel. So right here we have the Shimano Antares DC. This is the 2016 model. This is honestly one of my favorite reels just because it costs a lot first off, but this thing, you really get your money's out of it. This thing can cast lures farther than you could ever imagine. It's honestly crazy. It's a super big reel too. Like it's not a small reel, and I think this thing, you can go on eBay and find it for tons of different pricings, but I think I bought it for maybe like 500 and something. But this is an expensive fishing reel, and I think it's like one of the most expensive bait casters. I could be wrong because I think they made a new Antares, but fishing's one of those things where like the more money just gets you cooler stuff. I don't know why, but let's go grab the second one. This one is a 5:6 gear ratio, but the Antares DC 2016 is honestly one of my favorites, and we get to put it against a $30 reel. So let's go grab that one. And boom, right here we have our $30 reel. Now, I've actually used this one in a previous video, and it's not bad. It really isn't. But let's see how it compares to a $700 reel. And I think that these reels are just, it's crazy because like this one is plastic and like it's cork. You know, it's not as high quality as the other one. That's obviously kind of a given, but it's gonna be interesting to see if this thing can hang with that. I know both of these reels work. They both cast really good, and it's just gonna be fun to kind of put them up against each other and maybe see which one's the best, even though I feel like we all know it's probably the $700 one. But who knows? Maybe today is this cheap reels day, and it's just gonna amaze us, you know? But let's not waste any time. Let's tie up our rattlebots and let's catch some fish. All right, so we have both of our reels rigged up. We have our rattlebots tied on. The goal is to put these things head to head and compare them a little bit. So let's just start with what we're looking at. I mean, the handle on the Shimano is a little, I would say more like shaped, and this one's just kind of a stick. It's literally a line. That's okay. I don't really know. I mean, like, look wise, I mean, I feel like the looks of reels doesn't matter. I mean, this one's black and purple, this one's chrome and gray. Of course, this one looks fancier, but you know, this one has a 1 is the minimum and max is 9. This one doesn't have any dials, but it has a little braking system right there. This one does not have a tension knob. The Shimano does not have a tension knob, and this one does, which this one doesn't really function that good. So there's that. The drag is, this one's plastic. It's kind of big, not gonna lie. It's kind of a weird shape. This one's kind of just nice and sleek. I feel like the Shimano one's just, it's more appealing whenever you look at it. I mean, you got a shaped thumb thing. This one's just kind of flat right here. I mean, nothing too crazy. I think the spools are pretty similar in size. I didn't really check, but there's really nothing too crazy on the looks of them. I mean, they both look like bait casters, so that's the good thing. This one does have a DC, which is a digital chip inside of it. It's basically digital control, and this one doesn't, but it still has a DC noise because it's bad. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and let's go and let's compare these things. The real question is, which do we start with? Let's flip a coin. All right, so we got the one in my left hand will be expensive, will be heads. Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
All right, that means we're starting with the expensive reel. All right, we're starting off with expensive. That's what Siri told us to do. And we have a rattle bot right here, and hopefully the fish are gonna be eating pretty good. But got the same pound line on these things. They're pretty much similar, same pound line, same bait, and let's see what happens. So right there we got that digital control, the little squeal you hear, and this bait caster is like super smooth. I mean, I've had this thing for like maybe a year now, and I haven't oiled it once. Honestly, haven't even opened it inside, I don't think. And I think this is like one of my favorite reels, just because it's so easy to use. Like, even if you don't really use a lot of bait casters, you can throw this thing on like minimum or the maximum, like whichever one holds the most of the line, and you could throw this thing and it does everything itself. Honestly, you can let lures fly with this thing. Like, I like to just open it up all the way, and you can cast lures to like the moon. It's honestly crazy. I mean, look at this. I'm throwing like all of my spool. That's why I love this reel. You get that max distance out of it. I mean, that is just, it's crazy how this thing can cast so far. I think we're in a good spot. Oh yeah, that's juicy. That's it. We're about to get bit. First fish of the day coming right there. I know this little red rattlebot's gonna produce. I know it. I just got a good feeling about it. Just gonna find the right fit. Oh my God, watched him. Oh my gosh, that kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie. Jeez, little guy came out of came up behind it and just smacked it. He's small, yes, but his belly is pretty filled out. Let's go put this guy in our homemade live well. I'm gonna run him over because it's a little ways away. But thanks, man. First fish of the day. You're actually going in our transfer live well cooler. What a little stud though, man. Nice colors. He's got a belly on him, just too small for the trophy bass pond. All right, we got our first fish. We fished with the expensive reel. Now the cheap reel. Okay, never mind. It didn't do it that time, but it did backlash. It either does it or back it lashes. There's no in between. Let's just pick that backlash out real quick. It's not super well put together, I don't think. The handle feels like it's about to fall off, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of wobbly. And there's a screw, and on the screw, you can like see where it connects to the actual drag thing. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so now the reel's just gonna stop making the noise. It used to make this terrible screech. It probably still does. Just give it a little bit. But it makes this terrible screech sound. And it kind of sounds like a DC, but it sounds like there's one dying. All right, let's see if that fixed anything. Oh my God. I don't know if I can do this, man. Why did it backlash? I turned it down. All right, please don't fall apart. I at least want to catch a fish on it before it just completely dies. Come on, there we go. That works. That works. That's also a fish we need. Boom, another small fish. Is this one smaller than the last one? I think so. These are the dudes we just don't need, man. They're tiny. We want them big boys, you know? I mean, look at this little guy. Thanks, man. We're just catching tanks today. It's just a big fish kind of day, you know? Caught fish on expensive and cheap. Which one would I rather use? Expensive, because I haven't backlashed it yet. Man, I don't know why, but that cheap one, it was pretty solid the first time I used it. Now, I don't know what's wrong with the thing, but it does not want to cooperate with me. Oh my gosh, I just saw that happen. That was sick. Why are they all just picking me off at the bridge, man? They're all just hanging by the bridge and they pick me off one by one. I'm not complaining, but it's so scary seeing a fish just come out of nowhere and hit your bait. I don't know why, but I feel like me and the bait are just in sync and like I'm about to get attacked. The expensive reel claims another. Let's get him in the homemade live well. Nothing too crazy on size today, but it's kind of good because I've been catching a ton of quality fish and we need to get a few of these little ones out. And this is the perfect size you want because they will just eat all of your bait. The little guys are relentless. Get off this cheap one. Oh, I give it a cast. Yeah, like I said, I give it a cast. What is 1 and what is 9? They do the same thing, which is throw all the line at once and backlash. What the heck is wrong with this reel, dude? It was actually good the first time I used it, but if you probably oil it up, it probably fixes all this thing's problems. It's honestly not bad for $30 when it doesn't backlash. There we go. There's that DC line. Yes, sir. There we go. There's that DC line. It's so weird when it does that because I can feel it vibrate all the way down the whole entire combo. It's so weird. Trying to get these different angles out here, but they don't want to eat anymore, man. The bite just turned off like instantly. We had a pretty solid day going and then just like that, boom, nothing. Well, all right, that is all she wrote for today. We had a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it successful. I mean, technically it was successful. We caught fish and we got to use both of our reels, but we didn't catch a ton of fish or anything with size, but which actually is kind of good. We kind of need to get these small guys out of here and we're actually about to go stock them. But basically, we're gonna take this cooler and go throw them somewhere, and I don't like to kill the fish, so I put them somewhere else for use, like stocking the creek you guys have seen, and there's actually another pond near here that I go and dump them in, and whenever they get all grown up, I'm gonna go fish it. So it's gonna be kind of cool to see how these guys progress. But it was fun time. We got a fish from the expensive reel and a cheap reel. Obviously there's not a lot of competition between a $700 reel and a $30 reel, but they actually both work and they actually catch fish, so you can't complain there. But it's kind of fun to see how different price points and companies make their reels and stuff, and it's crazy to see what goes all into the reels. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.